And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We love to help you win in any marketplace. Thank you so much to everybody that's reaching out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. You got open phone lines. Any questions you have relating to real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, all types of great home service providers. Give us a call, 813-917-1894. In case you missed the show, you can see our archive shows on YouTube, Spotify as well. And we would love to help you no matter what you're facing out there. Again, we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. It's that consumer advocate-based program. We got a great lineup for you today here. We got our restaurant partner, expert contributor Douglas Clark, H'ours Creole. We do have Clyde Smith as well, Bilmar Beach Resort, and Brandon Faust, Mold Solutions, in the house here today. Three of our expert contributors on the program. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, an incredible act of sportsmanship. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but pretty cool story out of the Little League World Series, as well as our hot listings. We do like to feature our real estate listings live on air. We're a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, on pace for $50 million in volume as a team, and our company did $2.1 billion in sales last year. So we got a hot property at 530 Heaton Forest Road up in North Carolina. Now, this is compliments of my friend Bill DeVore Real Estate Group in Keller Williams in North Carolina. 530 Heaton Forest Road, Cashiers, North Carolina. We're just doing a price drop on these, kind of splitting them apart. So you got 8,000 square feet total, 20-acre property. It's a magnificent country estate in the mountains of western North Carolina. You got a porch, patio, 4 fireplaces. Beautiful property. Equestrian Stables is there on the side of the mountain as well. Just a beautiful property at 530 Heaton Forest Road, Cashiers, North Carolina. Compliments of Bill DeVore Real Estate Group, Keller Williams Realty up in North Carolina. Another property here in Riverview, bringing you back down south here. 6361 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a commercial property that we've got listed. Gorgeous property, commercial property. You've got 50,000 vehicles a day passing by. You got office space with outdoor storage. Operating currently as a U-Haul dealer, as well as doing some mechanical stuff in the back. Great opportunity. 6361 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. Great business location. 0.81 acre billboard on site. Direct highway frontage on 301 in beautiful Riverview, Florida, Hillsborough County, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, let's welcome in Brandon Faust, Mold Solutions. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, there's we always like to talk about those consumer advocate-based, things to think about, try to help the consumers out there think a layer deeper, and that's kind of our mantra around here.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that I thought would be a smart thing to talk about today is just the concept of mold and whether or not it's a do-it-yourself project.
Right.
Because obviously we have a lot of guys out there, moving into town and, they're spending a lot of money on their homes. And, I was in a home not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, maybe even less. And they bought a home. They didn't really get a chance to take a look at it, because of how hot the market was. And, of course, they start popping baseboards. And sure enough, they find mold behind the baseboards.
Wow.
And then they tore down a wall and you saw water damage evidence behind the wall, and there was a musty smell.
Oh, man.
Right. So, of course, they're a younger couple, and they are looking at the do-it-yourself project aspect of this. But realistically, I think that most of the time, people don't understand that mold, it's going to release a toxic gas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it, and in some cases, you don't even smell it. Right. And then once it starts spreading, those spores and the gas, it can get around your home, it can get onto surfaces, it can get onto walls, it can get into ceilings. And those particular substances that mold releases, it can have a pretty big impact in terms of the neurological system, and it can also have an impact, obviously, on the upper respiratory system. So the actual health aspect of it is pretty deep in terms of the impact that it can actually have. So, when you're looking at it and you're going, okay, do I do it as a do-it-yourself project or not? It's really important to take in a few things into consideration. Obviously, you want to have it as sort of dust-free as possible if you're going to do it. You're going to want to have containment, so you limit the actual spread of the mold spores and the gas itself. You want to make sure that you're using proper equipment. You're going to want to use a filter, what's called a HEPA filter, an air scrubber that has a HEPA filter, because that's going to get those microscopic particles, including not just the spores, but, in some cases you might be able to get some of those mycotoxins. The myco is that Greek word for fungus. So, you want to basically do everything possible to make that environment safe, So one of the things that do-it-yourselfers may not understand is the concept of negative air, which is something that we use in the industry a lot, where we're actually taking that bad air and we're flushing it through a system, and we're actually flushing it outside. So we'll set up a system where there's almost like a duct that goes from the actual machinery outside. It's blowing that bad air out, and then you have a fresh air makeup system going through a filter, so you bring clean air into that impacted area, and you're getting rid of that bad air. So it is probably something that somebody could endeavor on their own if they're wearing the proper protective equipment, in terms of like face mask, upper, the respiratory systems that protect, the breathing masks, and if they, have gloves and all that proper PPE. But it really is something that is a bit of a challenge, and there's obviously hazards involved. So you have to kind of weigh that in terms of the amount of money you're going to spend and the actual potential ramifications or impact that it can have on the health. Yeah. If you're going to basically do a do-it-yourself project.
Especially your average person, probably wouldn't be able to undertake it. It would be more of a, maybe a contractor type or a DIY type, hands-on type of person. We're talking with Brandon Faust here on the program. Mold Solutions USA is his company, and we've talked many times about this. Longtime friend of the program, and it was interesting when you were telling that story. It was back when the market was super hot, right? So they rushed in. So you're saying they did not get a home inspection? They just said, we're going to offer with the least amount of contingencies we can.
That's exactly right. So it's one of those things. And truthfully, even if they had done a home inspection, it probably would have been missed.
Right.
Because you don't see behind the walls. You don't see behind the baseboards. You don't see mold in a lot of cases. It can be hiding. So let's say it looked like what probably happened in that home is there had been some sort of a flood.
Yep.
And they had dried it out as best as possible, but they probably didn't have the equipment. And again, it kind of comes back down to the do-it-yourself concept of this. Is it really a do-it-yourself project or not? Because let's say you do the dry out and you think you've done a good job. You got fans in there, and you have, maybe a dehumidifier that you buy at Home Depot or something, and you think you're actually doing it correctly.
Yep.
But if you don't have the proper equipment, if you don't have moisture meters, like there's ones with pins, there's one without pins. If you don't have thermal imaging, if you don't have these things, you don't know whether or not you've actually gotten it dry, because it can be dry to the touch, it can be dry to the eye, but it's still got over 20% moisture content, and you could have wood decaying fungi grow at over 20%. You can have mold start growing at 17% moisture content. So they think they've done it right, and maybe they, and even how deep is it dry? Because sometimes we'll even use screws that will go into the actual seal plates at the bottom to see if that wood, that base is actually dry. Because if not, that wood is touching the drywall, and you can have moisture for an extended period of time, and sure enough, you have mold start growing. So that's where you really have to have the proper equipment, the proper measuring tools and instruments to really quantify how far do we have to go on this to make sure it's dry enough so mold doesn't start growing.
Yeah. It's a shame that people were in that position too, because I've heard that similar type of story with, not maybe specific to mold, but where people were so frustrated they were just putting in the offers, they're competing. What really gets me too, because I'm for the, the American worker, I'm for the blue collar folks out there, I'm for the middle income earners, the people that are getting hit hardest with all this new, especially with the hiring of the IRS, the uptick in 87,000. And by the way, did you see the story too? It said one of their advertisements said, for employment said that you must be ready to use lethal force for the IRS. I mean, that's the type of ads they're running. But it's a challenge,
That's a little scary.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy. I want to have producer Nick throw up a screenshot here of the market dynamics to kind of elaborate what you were talking about. Because when you look at February inventory, so if you look at for sale, if you're watching our TV show version, by the way, you can see it on YouTube, Amazon, Apple TV, Roku. We play clips all over social media as well. But if you're looking at like February, March, you notice that there's the red indicating for sale is around 300 to 350 units for sale. Fast forward to just a couple weeks ago, now that red number is all the way up to 650 units. And by the way, this is for properties that have, been in Pinellas County, Pasco County, and I believe it's Hillsborough County is right. Yeah, Hillsborough, Pasco, Pinellas. And you look at $500 to $1 million. So those properties, so look at the inventory increase over the last few weeks. Now, that's an indication of the Federal Reserve raising the rates. And, I think even just the uncertainty of what's going on out there. You're raiding the ex-president's house. You're all this stuff going on. People have that sentiment, and they don't want to spend money and make these big moves, even businesses, when there's all this uncertainty going on, Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with that. And unfortunately, there's some things that are happening in the country which I think are unprecedented, and obviously that puts a lot of concern in people's minds. It's hard not to have concern, if you're paying attention. So, and the thing that's interesting, from the perspective of a small medium business owner, right, is there's challenges that you have to look at in terms of, okay, the consumers. They start becoming scared. They tighten their wallets to whatever degree. You have inflation, so your prices are going up, and people are spending less. So then you go, what happens to the guys in the, that are basically providing services where they have to either increase their prices, but then if people don't want to spend as much, then they have to figure out what they're going to do, maybe lower their prices. So you go, wow, is this something that's by design, or is this something that, is just kind of happenstance, and it's all those sort of questions and I think mysteries that people have. It's a very unprecedented time for the country.
Absolutely.
But ultimately the solution is to really just kind of do everything that you can to, hustle and flourish as much as possible, kind of, quell the noise, try not to pay attention to it, because obviously I think that's part of the goal is to, have people distracted or in fear. But that if the country gets into production and stays into production, then I think that ultimately the American values and the American people continue to win,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the message we like here on the show. And we always say to our listening audience out there as well, support the good guys. I mean, now you can see what's going on. You know who the good guys are, and we bring them all on this show. So, if you're supporting this show, you're supporting the good guys. Reach out to our hotline or hit us up on the website, consumerqb.com. Brandon Faust in the house, Mold Solutions USA. So support the local contractors. He's a great example of an American, I can't remember if you were in a veteran.
I wasn't in the military, but tremendous respect for the people in the military.
That's right. Small business owner.
Absolutely.
A hustler out there making things happen for his family. Got a beautiful young family, and local contractors. So looking out for people. That's what we talk about today. It's like where you spend your money is so important. That's a big part of it.
Absolutely, and it's crucial to find people that their morals and their values and how they deal with people is taken into consideration, because you have contractors that have scruples, and you have contractors that don't, and it's vital that I feel, if you're in the service industry, to do everything possible to really look out for your client, because they're trusting you with their home, they're trusting you with their well-being, and if you brush something off, it could have an impact. Or if you do something wrong, it could have an impact. So you really got to do your own homework to make sure that you're doing it right.
Yeah.
And, you're also, just as an example, like it's interesting in the indoor air quality space, like an AC contractor is not allowed to say mold, Actually, the M word is just one of those words you're not really supposed to use, period, unless it's verified as mold. But if you see something that is suspect growth as an AC contractor, it's important that you don't brush that off, that you actually let the client know, because if it's there in their system, in their ducts, the chances are quite high that it didn't stay there, right?
Yeah.
It also blows around the house. It actually
Right.
ends up impacting the air quality. And that's the thing that is really the biggest point of concern, is what is the actual air quality like? So if
Yeah.
they have spores or, a gas that can act as an allergenic substance, or it can impact the neurological system, because of the way that it attracts to the most fatty part of the body, it's important that the client knows about it,
Yeah.
And then it's important that the actual contractor or the person in the service industry can educate the client so they actually do understand why it's important to address it, and don't just paint over it, don't
Right.
just kind of leave it there, don't just put a purifying device in there thinking that little home purifier it's like a slingshot against a battleship. It's not going to really have the impact necessary. So there
Yeah.
are steps that you should take to make sure that the system is clean, so that you have that gold standard in air quality.
Yeah. Well, a quick PSA for our audience out there. Just personally, again, I just had another situation happen. Again, a brand new home. We just built our dream home on Lake Tarpon. Beautiful property. We had there was a construction type box sitting underneath the air conditioning unit. Underneath that air conditioning unit, the escape where the water comes out basically got clogged.
Yeah.
Like you hear, it has all this mold growth, or maybe not mold, but it was, bought a bunch of junk in there. And we were on a service plan, so I thought, shouldn't have to worry about it, but I did, so it backed up. That whole thing got filled up and had to be taken out, so then they replaced it with the metal apparatus to hold it above it, and put one of the laser type deals in there. So anyways, another right at just shy of $3,000 repair on a brand new home. So there's your PSA. Clean that pipe that comes out. I don't know what the technical name for it is, Brandon, you might, but it's clean that pipe out, pour bleach down it, do whatever you got to do, get that sucker clean, because it happens, and it just happened to me again, and I knew about it.
Yeah, it's the drain line, and believe
the
it
drain line.
or not, it's actually happened to me.
Yeah.
It's happened to me, I think, twice, maybe even 3 times.
Yeah.
And it overflowed, and of course it impacted. At one point, it was actually a blessing, because when that overflow occurred, I had to remove a lot of the continuous flooring, and that's
Yeah.
how I found the mold behind the walls in my own home.
Yeah.
So,
Brandon, that's about our time for today, my friend. What's the best website, social media? I know you're very active on Instagram too. Your wife does some really cool videos there too.
yeah, Mold Solutions USA, pretty much across the boards on Facebook. I wanted to find something that was unique just for us, and it is Mold Solutions USA, and a little,
Great name.
care about the country, and shout out to the place that we're living.
That's right. Absolutely. So check him out online. Mold Solutions USA. Brandon Faust, longtime friend of the program. He's a good guy. Support him and continue to support the show. And thank you so much, Brandon. Appreciate you.
You got it.
All right,
Pleasure
we're
to
taking
be
a quick break. Coming back, Clyde Smith. He's the general manager, Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about things happening in Tampa Bay, Treasure Island area, and entertainment throughout the island. Coming up later, our feel-good story of the day. Incredible act of sportsmanship by, I believe, 11 and 12-year-olds in Little League Baseball. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, in studio with Martine Gramatica, that is, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer Super Bowl winner. Lifeguard Imaging, lifeguardimaging.com, saving lives through early detection.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. Yes, that's what we're doing at Lifeguard Imaging. You come in asymptomatic, and that's what we do. You're being proactive. You're coming in. We do a scan from the neck to the pelvis. It's a full body scan. It's a 3D image of every organ, and that's where 90% of the deadliest cancers are, in our mid region. So we can see everything. But for your listeners, we have a real good special. We have a $599 value, absolutely complimentary. They can come in for a coronary artery scan, which will give you their calcium score, 100% complimentary for your people.
Very cool. Hey, take them up on that offer, 813-917-1894. Call or text, complimentary scan, 813-917-1894, and check them out online, lifeguardimaging.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your negotiations. Certified negotiation expert. We help our sellers maximize the profit through the radio and TV program. We got a property at 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. This is $1 million listing in a gated community, corner lot with a pool in Carrollwood. $975 now, just reduced down to $975. Beautiful property, 2803 Safe Harbor Drive in Tampa. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we got a lot of vacant land available as well throughout the community, about a dozen or so vacant lots available for sale. We're going to the phone lines here. Clyde Smith, Bilmar Beach Resort. How you doing, sir?
Brandon, I'm doing well. How are you and your family?
Excellent. Things are going great, my friend. Appreciate
good,
you.
Good to hear. So we look forward to seeing you back out here on Treasure Island.
Yes, sir.
It's time to come out now. With school back in, where things have slowed down a little bit, so our locals can come have the beach back.
Yeah, local staycation. I love it.
We've been seeing quite a bit of that even before school started back. But that is a big part of who comes now because the streets aren't as busy, the beach is wide open, and I'll tell you what, I went for a walk with my wife the other day, and the water is as clear as I remember ever seeing it here. Just perfect water, perfect conditions. It's a really good time to come visit.
Yeah, I just got off a 6-day trip down to the Keys, and man, it was beautiful just to see the clear water. Tried some lobstering the day that we went out lobstering. It was a bit breezy and kind of difficult to navigate, but did catch some fish, caught some beautiful snapper, and took them to the restaurant, and they hooked and catched or whatever they call it. They cooked them up right there. But yeah, there's some great opportunities right offshore, and they got a Freedom Boat Club around there, and lots of touristy attractions around there as well, Clyde.
Well, there are, and not just here at the Bilmar, because we do still have 7 days a week in Sloppy Joe's with live entertainment, but throughout Treasure Island, all the way from John's Pass, there's nightly entertainment there, all the way down to Kaitiki over on Sunset Beach. There's just really a great live music scene going on here, and that again is what the locals really enjoy this time of year. You just can sit down and, gosh, you can go 5 places and hear different entertainers at every one. It's really a great time to visit.
Yeah, it sure is, and I just enjoy getting over there. This time of year, man, you can just get out there and enjoy the sun. And let's talk a little bit about too that seasonal. It seems like it's been somewhat seasonal, the red tide, but there's no red tide over there now.
None at all. We the county is great about putting out the reports about what's going on, and it's been totally clear all the way, even across the Sunshine Skyway. There's no red tide right now, so let's all knock on wood and hope that continues, because that does have a huge impact on, when it does go south. But it's been pretty good. Even last year, we had a pretty clean year with that. But right now, I mean, you could see, gosh, we were watching dolphin in the water, and you can even see them underwater, or even when they're diving down, the water is so clear.
Oh, that's great to hear. I love it. Can you hang on with us through the break here, Clyde? We're going to come back on the other side with you. Bilmar Beach Resort, Clyde Smith, he's the general manager. We're going to talk about booking options and different ways to engage with the Bilmar Beach Resort here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taking a quick break. Also, later in the program, incredible active sportsmanship in the Little League World Series. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out to our friends over at Replenish IV Solutions. Stephen and Lisa Gunnan, longtime friends of the program, about 5 years or so now. Safe and effective way to restore your body's crucial systems with nutrients, enabling your body to perform at optimal conditions. Everybody's looking for a way to boost their immunity, maybe gain a little bit of energy. Reach out to Replenish IV Solutions online, replenishivsolutions.com, and they've got a mobile nurse that can come out and hook you up, get the vitamins pumped right into your bloodstream. I go at least once every 3 or 4 weeks and enjoy that. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a hot property listing here at 2801 West Patterson Street in Tampa. This is a beautiful property, completely renovated, corner lot, fenced-in yard, beautiful tile and granite throughout. Great opportunity to own real estate right there in Tampa, close to the zoo, close to Busch Gardens, and there's no HOA. People love that. Definitely love that. No HOA. We also have a property at 507 South Prospect Avenue. This is a commercial property, Clearwater, that we have. It's a great opportunity. Again, just a building, 2-story building, 12 rooms, 2 bathrooms, commercial office building close to downtown Clearwater, right off of Gulf to Bay. 507 South Prospect Avenue in Clearwater, listed right at $499,000. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And speaking of sun shining and the weather being sweet, we got Clyde Smith. He's the general manager of the Bilmar Beach Resort right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Treasure Island. And Clyde, we truly are blessed to be living in the best, Tri-City area in the country, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. I mean, what a great area to be.
It really is. And, with Central Avenue ending right at our front door, it's just so nice to be able to go right downtown St. Petersburg, do the live scene there and the museum scenes that are there with the Dali and some of the other museums. So it's just a really great central location. We love the Tampa Bay area. We are very fortunate, Brandon. We know it.
Yeah, it is. And I was actually listening to Roger P. Schulman on the way into on 860 The Answer today, and he was mentioning downtown St. Pete. They had a lot of people kind of camping out overnight close to I think it was City Hall or mayor's office or something. Rent controls. They're protesting because we need rent controls. Rents have increased over 20% in the St. Pete area year over year, and it just seems to be almost everywhere. You're seeing rent increases going everywhere. That must affect employees and just pretty much everybody across the spectrum.
It really is. It's been very difficult on especially our line employees. They work so hard, and just every little bit makes a difference. And I've got 2 children that are renting places right now, and it's unbelievable. It's almost as much as a mortgage payment. So it's very difficult. In fact, I know some people that are looking to buy because of that, which is great for the long-term, investment of it. But it's very difficult. Transportation is still a problem also, just with our local bus system. We do the wagon wheel style here, so you have to, it could take up to 2 hours for someone to get to work, which is really hard. That affects daycare and everything. But so we try to take care of our employees here, as they're how friendly they are, and go out of their way. So we try to do the right thing back for them and help them out whenever we can.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the way you look at with what's happening in the country, and the interest rates and the inflation. I mean, it's hitting a lot of people, and speaking of that, you've been able to keep your rates very affordable for folks both in state and out of state.
We have, and the best way to look at that is certainly to go straight to our website, the BilmarBeachResort.com, and then right up in the middle at the top of the page, there's a deals button. You drop that down, and it promotes. One is the book direct and save. That's usually the guaranteed best discount by going directly through us and not one of the third parties that charge extra fees or pass those fees on to us. Or you can do the Florida resident rate, which is a great deal. We're running some other local specials right now. A fall special. Weekday you can get up to 25% off by finding that fall special, which is advertised on there. Or call us directly. We'll assist you here and make sure you get in the right room type. Of course, 90% of our rooms face the beach, so that's almost a given at the Bilmar. But also 2/3 of them have balconies and kitchenettes, so you can, save a little bit there too. Every bit helps. So we try to make it easy, and you even get a $5 coupon when you check in just to take to one of the restaurants to get you started. We call it your little starter kit, and you take that to Waves Fun Zone or down to Sloppy Joe's.
Yeah, and if
great way to do it.
If you're on social media, check out the hashtag #BillMarvelous. Is that still the hashtag #BillMarvelous?
That is, yes, hashtag BillMarvelous. And we even have a program if people want to bring us a meeting or a small social event, and it's the Bill Marvelous points. And you can get either cash back or in-kind credit for a future stay. It's a great way, meeting planners or even, church organizations, you can get that and give that money back to your organization if you choose to.
Yeah.
And that's the Bill Marvelous program. Our sales department be happy to share that with anyone. Weddings have been great. Even during the summer, we've done 10 weddings the last, 2 weeks. So we've been super busy with the weddings out on the beach. And we have Creston now in our sales department. She's a wedding specialist and has just done some amazing things with our brides and grooms and couples. It's really been a good time having her join the team.
Yeah, the Bilmar Beach Resort, it's just a beautiful beach. It's one of the longest beaches you'll see, especially in Florida, that I've seen. And you look out, and it's just, almost a mile, it seems, out there. Just beautiful. And you have the outdoor and the rentals that you can take advantage of with kayaks and all kinds of good stuff out there, Clyde.
Yep, with your stay, you get an hour a day of kayak or paddleboard. Of course, you talk to Turbo, and you can extend that longer or get extra equipment. You get 2 beach chairs you can carry down there, and Turbo will help you out with renting an umbrella for the day. Or he's got those great cabanas that are just especially if it's a little windy day, you can tuck up under the cabana and still enjoy everything. And not quite a mile down to the beach, though. It's a 2-beer walk maybe, but it's not a mile.
Right, yeah, definitely less than a mile. Lots of people love kiting over there, too.
There, what you don't hear is the kids yelling Marco Polo in the pool and the city traffic. You're down as you're just by the tranquil water and just listen to the water and have a good time and come to your local beach and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right. And the kids have room to play football and fly kites out there, too. You see a lot of people flying kites, don't you?
Yeah, we're quite famous for our kites. And in fact, Windworks up at John's Pass, if you don't have a kite, you can go up there and they'll fix you up with just a, basic starter kite or all the way up to the grand ones. There's some out there that go up that are the size of a small bus. It's amazing. The kite festivals, of course, in January and November is a great time if you're a kite enthusiast. That's the time to come over Martin Luther King weekend or over Standing Ovations, which, of course, is coming up again in November. November 18th, we'll start that Stand Festival. And last year, we estimated about 50,000 people through the week. And once again, they're going to kick it off with a follow-up week over Thanksgiving. We're going to have live music out on the beach and extend the festival into 2 weekends again this year.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, you got to put that on your calendar. That's Standing Ovations, and it's just so cool, man. You've got these world-renowned artists coming in, creating these sand sculptures. And tell me a little bit about some of your favorites over the years.
Gosh, it's the most amazing part of it, and this year we're hoping to get more of the international. In 2019, we had 9 countries represented out of the 10 sand sculptures. So it's just truly world-class talent. One of my favorite, it was ironic the year they did Burt Reynolds as Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, wow.
And it was actually a guy from Mexico came up with it and did the huge hat and, the backside was the truck and just it was like watching the movie there at 20,000 pounds of sand. That was a really amazing one. And, sometimes they're not themed, but sometimes I think the artists just get in each other's head and you get love themes some year. Last year was all nautical and aquatic. So it's really a great time. And then there's a sponsors pile that has like 10 different companies represented. Corona is usually one of our lead sponsors for it. They put up the prize money, and then of course Sloppy Joe's and the Bilmar were major sponsors of it for this will be our 14th year of sponsoring that program. And it's a great week. And then even after the festival, they leave the sculptures up until New Year's. So a lot of people just come out and stroll around. They're lit up at night. They're world pieces of art, and they're there for 2 months, and then they knock them down and it becomes part of our beach.
Yeah, it's super cool. Lots of opportunities. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Bilmar Beach Resort, the beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island. Clyde Smith, he's the general manager and just a great guy. He's got a great staff over there. Book directly. Don't book at one of the third-party engines. BilmarBeachResort.com. And Clyde Smith, longtime friend of the program. Clyde, thanks again. Appreciate you. And is that the best place for folks to visit, the website?
Yes, it's definitely the best, or you can just call us directly. Our local number here is 727-360-5531, or go online. The pictures show you what we are, and we deliver who we show.
Excellent. All right, my friend, have a wonderful day. Have a great week.
Thank you for having me on.
Talk to you next time. My pleasure. All right, taking a quick break there, and we're coming back with Douglas Clark, H'ours Creole, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Doug Clark calling into the program, plus our feel-good story of the day. Find out about this incredible act of sportsmanship in the Little League World Series. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, everybody, it's the captain, Matt Bruce, and you're listening to my buddy, Brandon Rhymes, a Consumer Quarterback. Sell, Brandon, sell.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back, Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. And we like to help our sellers profit more and sell faster when they're selling their real estate properties. And we got a property here, beautiful property, just reduced over at 14663 Village Glen Circle in Tampa. This is in beautiful Carrollwood, Florida. We just did a major price reduction. The owner says bring all offers at 14663 Village Glen Circle in Tampa. This is a cute home, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,951 square feet. Carrollwood Village, gorgeous property with an outdoor pool, kitchen, screen, lanai, outdoor shower, master bath, features a jacuzzi tub, sauna, and a tanning bed. Gorgeous property here, just over $600,000 at 14663 Village Glen Drive in Tampa. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And by the way, I'm going to be speaking on a panel of experts next Thursday over at the restaurant over at the International Plaza, Whiskey Cafe. I forgot the name of that, actually. Whiskey Cake. That is 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard. On the 18th, we got a panel discussion and a networking lunch for realtors over at the International Mall. Going to be one of the experts on the panel, and the panel is talking about how to build how to build it. So building teams, dynamic team builders, and pretty cool to be opportunity to be featured on scene there. And we're going to have our producer there as well. We're going to bring some footage back for the show probably on that. So it'll be pretty cool. Good stuff. Every day we like to tell you something good here.
Tell me something good.
All right, feel good story. Man, this one takes me back as well. I remember back when I was in the Little League All-Star as well. We had a gentleman that was pitching, a little young kid that was pitching on our team. He got hit right in the eye socket with the baseball. Just a line drive came right back and hit my friend Brad Murray. And man, it popped him in the eye. I mean, everybody, just the whole crowd went breathless. But there was an incredible act of sportsmanship that just happened on TV. We saw it on the East Texas team playing Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were battling it out in the Southwestern Regional Championship game with the winner of the game qualifying for the Little League World Series. So a scary moment resulted when an unusual display of sportsmanship. But the pitcher basically threw a wild pitch. You know, it happens, slips out the side of the hand. Hit him right in the very bottom of the helmet, right by the ear. So he almost took one right in the ear hole there, but he popped the helmet off. Everybody was shaken up, and the pitcher was shaken up most. And so what you typically see in baseball and in a lot of the major league programs is they will, get a little cocky and square up a little bit, exchange jabs, or potentially, an outright brawl between both teams. But on this case, you had the, potentially 11 or 12-year-old kids. The gentleman that got hit made it to first base. He looked at the pitcher, saw that the pitcher was very shaken. So he walked over to the pitcher's mound and gave him a hug. It was pretty cool. But there's your incredible act of sportsmanship. Our young leaders of the country, seems like they're doing a great job. So interesting story there. So we're going to welcome in now online on our phone line, Douglas Clark. He's the owner of H'ours Creole in beautiful Tarpon Springs. He's the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Welcome to the program, Doug.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, my friend. Yeah, welcome back. Yes, sir.
All right. We sitting here killing it and listening to you guys, and we look forward to getting on this little radio spot all the time. We love the improv. We love the answers when you throw them out there. We have no clue what's going on out there, so you just let us know and we'll answer it.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting time too, man. We're still battling, economic inflation. It's like the ruling class is coming after the small business owners almost any way they can.
Yeah, it feels like that. I definitely feel like it's like, there's a plan out there. I'm not really sure. I don't really get too much involved in it. Like I said, like we do here at H'ours Creole, we wake up, we put our shoulder pads on, we get to the line of scrimmage, and we start pounding and grounding, running that ball, running that rock straight up the middle.
Yeah, I like it. That's right, man.
We got that lead fullback, we're going to point to the middle linebacker and say, we're coming for you. that's what we do here. We just grind it out.
Yeah, I like it. I like the metaphor. And then you got to call an audible sometime because you're like, hey, this, I thought this was going to be what we're going to put on the menu, but you might have to shift the audible over and put something different on the menu.
Yeah, that happens all the time. We do it, and it's a beautiful thing for us. It keeps the product fresh, and we try to, just try to keep anything on the menu that is worthy, and it's price worthy. We're not trying to gouge people here. We're in business. We want to make some money, and my staff wants to make money, and we need customers. But we just it's the old saying, at the hotels and resorts, you got to have heads and beds. That keeps everybody employed. If there's nobody sitting down and eating, if there's nobody laying in the bed, and nobody working. And
right.
That's what we got to do here. That's what we grind it out. And our staff is strong. We've got a great staff. We've had some people go down. One of our lead bartenders has been with us for a long time. She's a little ill. We're taking donations here for her. We're doing what we can for her. And she had a mild stroke, and we have this little guy, Michael, here. I would say he's our employee of the month for the last month. He's stepped in and, filling in her shoes. And, that's what we do here. If somebody goes down, the next person comes in, and they come in swinging hard. And, it's a testament to what we've got here as a family. We pride ourselves on being a family restaurant. Most of us here, we are all family. But, when someone's hurting, and I always tell everybody here, as the leader, as the captain of the boat, just give me an opportunity to go down with you. Don't sink without me. Let me go down with you.
Yeah, there you go.
If we're going to go down, let's go down together. If we're going to rise, let's rise together. So it's just one of the things that we do here, and he's done a great job. Talk about our staff. They're just, we're grinding it out. We stay busy on the weekends and pounding through this summer. And everybody says it's a slow season, but I think we're on pace to do more than we did last year, and I think it's been great. It shows good faith what the customers feel for us, and that they can come in and know that there's going to be a different menu, and they're going to be they're excited about it, they love it. They know they can come in and find something different every day. So it's just great. It's a great situation to be in for us.
Yeah, if you just joined us, we're talking with Douglas Clark, H'ours Creole, a beautiful restaurant right there in Tarpon Springs, and a longtime friend of the program. Highly recommend that you go check him out. He's got some great stuff on the menu. Let's go through a little sample of the menu. I love the oyster. I'm an oyster guy, so I love the oysters as well. And then it seems like I always go for the some type of a red meat when you have that on the menu as well.
That we do. Our oysters are Gulf oysters. Right now we're getting them from the Louisiana side. Warmer weather, but that Mississippi, that cold water is consistently coming down. It's nice little flesh. There's really no bad month, bad time of the year for a Gulf oyster. We could go around and you can get oysters here and there, but we just stick to the Gulf side here. They always stay pretty consistent. The texture, the meat, they're plump. They good great on the grill with that garlic butter, and you're talking about the red meat. We got that program. Ruth Family Farms in Missouri. We got we cut we got 44-ounce porterhouses on the menu tonight. We smoked those guys for about we'll smoke them for about 20 minutes, and then we'll reverse sear them or grill them, as we say, and finish them on the grill with some more garlic butter, and we take the bones. We make our own bone marrow demi here, and it's what we got going on. We got some short ribs braising in the oven right now. So a lot of red meat, a lot of fresh seafood. Grouper cheeks is one of one of the more popular items that we have here. Grouper, let's not beat around the bush here. Grouper is super expensive. A lot of the fish has taken a hike too. And grouper cheeks and some of those other items out there, it's just as good. The quality is there. It's a little different, but and you never know the difference if you came in here. We put some pecan crusts on there, and cast iron pan serum, and throw a little sun-dried tomato basil butter on there, some cream spinach. I mean, you got a full meal there.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you've got the ribs also. You do have some specials going during the week.
Yep. Mondays we do dollar oysters. Anyway, raw, grilled, or fried. Tuesdays we do 75-cent drummies. We brine those guys for 48 hours and put them on the smoker. We'll go through a couple hundred of those. And then every Thursday we do $19 full rack of ribs with a side. Today we braised some collard greens and mac and cheese, or you can get some sweet potato fries or our homemade coleslaw and all that good stuff. So I mean, it's a great meal. They're 3 pounds and a 3-pound rack of ribs, and for $19, I don't think you can really beat that right now. I mean, go look at Publix. Go get a raw one for $27.
Right, yeah. Look at Publix. Look at some of the stores you go in. It's not even, exactly like you said. I tell you what, I felt like Fred Flintstone the other day. You sent me home with that porterhouse. Man, I felt like my car was weighed down on one side.
Well, we went up about 14 more ounces.
Yeah, that was a huge steak. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so we get these sides. That's what we're doing. We're getting sides and the primal cuts, and I finish the cuts here. What we want to do, we can do a Kansas City strip. We can pull the bone off sometimes, and a short loin, and we'll roast that guy and make our little demi out of that. And this time I just took it, trimmed it down, and the thing was a monster, and I just brought the saw out, and I was like, man, it's gonna give me some nice 44-ounce porterhouses. These are big dogs, and you get a 44-ounce porterhouse anywhere else, you're looking at $100, $125. Not here.
I love it.
Not here.
Where do you want folks to find you at, Doug?
Check us out on our Facebook account. See the live music that we got going on. Our Google is pretty good, and Instagram, and all that good stuff. hourscreole.com. Check it out around 2:30, 3 o'clock. See the updated menu. Make sure you check the date. There's all kinds of spots to find us. We sell our hot sauce and this and that. We got a little video on Instagram showing us, We make our hot sauce. People come in and buy it. You know, we make our own bacon. People will buy that by the pound. You know, smoke our own tasso, cure our own ham. You know, all that good stuff. So we're really trying to get into it, trying to find a way to, you know, make some extra money with the product that we have on hand. And, you know, what better way than to put that in, you know, so not everybody wants to go out and eat all the time. But, you know, you can take some of the product and some of the life from the restaurant here and bring it home and make yourself a nice little breakfast sandwich with some bacon.
You're a talented man. Doug Clark, H'ours Creole. Check him out. Tarpon Springs. Go visit. You will not be disappointed. Thanks, Doug. And great show. Want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers out there, our team behind the scenes, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.